Hello, hello.
Hello, it is us.
Sure, let's go with that.
I don't know.
We have been discussing. Oh, why is my Siri live? Don't like that. We've been discussing some potential segments, but clearly we haven't come up with anything official yet.
And by discussing some potential segments, you're talking about like 7 hours ago.
Yeah, we hung out over the weekend. Or quote unquote weekend, because I have
Yes.
weird weekends and you are technically unemployed right now.
Yes, and today's Sunday for you.
Essentially, yeah. So, but that's kind of first thing on our list, which I guess can be included in what I'm going to call for now the vibe check at the beginning of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, vibe check essentially, 1, how are we? 2, what have we been doing?
You say that like I'm going to tell you about hanging out with you for the last few days.
I mean, we're going to talk about that. But
Yeah, because that's what I've been doing the last few days at least.
General vibe, I would say, is not horrendous. My office is now finally like hospitable to human life.
Oh.
Because I came back and it was so fucking hot.
Yeah.
Because I had the AC running out in my living room because Oliver.
Yep.
But I had all the other doors closed because I do that anyway when I leave the house because he's a troublemaker.
Yep.
And just the wall of just sticky, humid air when I first walked in here.
God.
But after running every AC in my apartment on high and having a fan directly blowing that into here, it's not quite as hot anymore.
This weather is god awful. I can't take it. It needs to
I hate it.
Off.
Not a huge fan.
I only had to go out once today. And that was to take this one to the vet. She just looked at me and went,
You're about to discuss me?
And I walked outside and I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. It's so hot out here. You have such thick fur. Like,
no, the second I stepped outside, I was like, it's like the air is wet.
Yeah.
The air itself feels damp. I hate it.
Yeah, so. I'm going to give this weather 2 thumbs down. I would give more thumbs down if I could, but I do not have more than 2 thumbs, unfortunately.
Seems fair. Do we want to share any stories from the weekend, though?
Stories.
I'm going to keep calling it the weekend because that is the schedule I am on. Sorry, everyone.
Implied air quotes around weekend.
Every single time I say it, there is air quotes around the word weekend until I go back to my normal schedule.
What did we do? We went to the Nerd Emporium.
We did go to the Nerd Emporium, which was absolutely delightful.
Yeah.
God,
I've done this before.
Fucking mecca of just nerdy shit. Amazing.
I've said this before on the pod, but like, shout out to Millennium Games.
Yes, if you are in the area, go check out Millennium Games. It bangs.
Mm-hmm. Henry, New York, yeah.
I didn't get anything like particularly exciting. I just got one random little Pokemon blind box, and it turned out to be a Squirtle, which was very cute. So I was super happy about that. And I got a surprise for Kyle that I'm not going to say because he might be watching this live.
Got it. Oh, you didn't give it to him. Oh, you just got home. Never mind. So you didn't give it to him yet? All right.
Not yet. But that was the main extent of my shopping.
Yeah.
I liked your description of it as like a con sales floor without having to go to a convention because it definitely had that energy.
Yeah. But also then you get the added like insane board game collection and D&D stuff. And again, weirdly, disc golf section.
I mean, whatever. Somewhere has to have it.
I suppose. It's just, feels like a weird fit, but I'm glad that people who enjoy disc golf have somewhere to go for their supplies.
I finally got to see your 3D printer in action. That was cool as shit.
Both of them.
Both of them. And you 3D printed me some little trinkets, like this Flexi Rexy dinosaur that I'm such a huge fan of. This is also technically kind of going to be a preview of some of the wares we will be offering at our table at Mid-Hudson Comic Con, 3D printed by Brooks. So you can get a little Flexi dinosaur. We have the childhood sandbox, but in tiny desktop 3D printed form. Mine still needs eyes.
I was gonna say it will have eyes.
Other little tools. And this one you said like it wasn't like for like
that's okay.
Commercial,
yeah,
whatever. Can't sell this one. But I got Cone Kirby. Which is delightful because that's my favorite Kirby in Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Which I wasn't gonna give him to you because he's just a little fucked up dude. I messed him up.
That makes me love him more. Fucking
yeah, which is why I didn't paint his eyes or anything because I thought he was garbage.
Well, now I just get to paint him and it'll be fun.
Sure. Yeah.
What else did we do? We rewatched the entirety of Chainsaw Man in one sitting.
We sure did. Hey, we
dubbed this time though.
We paused. I think it was the first episode to eat food, and then we watched the other like 11 episodes without
pretty much. Yeah, that was fun.
I seriously don't think we paused.
Also, we made slushies at some point.
Oh, that's true. We did make wine slushies, so I had to pause it to check on the ice machine a few times.
Mm-hmm. You went to the pool in your apartment complex after living there for 9 years.
Yeah, I know. I even took a picture and texted my mom. I was like, Mom!
You didn't tell me that. No, I demanded swimmy time because it's fucking hot out.
Yeah.
And I bought a bunch of cute bathing suits at the end of the season last year, all discounted. And I was like, people need to see these. I need to be perceived. So that was nice.
Yeah. I've now lived a collective 14 years in apartment complexes with swimming pools, and that's the first time I've ever gone to one of them. So, because the place I lived in Columbus had one, and I lived there 5 years, never set foot in it. So,
you fascinate me.
Yeah, but we got to do that.
Would you like to share anything else that happened this weekend? I'm trying to.
Probably not.
Noted. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Secret forever.
Ooh,
you never get
mysterious. To know. It is legal behavior.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Now.
And that'll probably give a hint.
So that was fun. But yeah, that was that's all of my recent highlights, to be completely honest. What?
We watched Empire Records.
We did watch Empire Records. That was absolutely delightful. Loved it. I'm trying to think if there's anything I kind of missed because we were off last week.
Yeah, I didn't get to do my Niagara Falls Comic-Con updates.
I mean, the floor is yours if you have anything like big. I saw some of your purchases. They were all very cool.
Yeah, I didn't move my Best Genius figure.
I would say Best Genius is still in the background where I put it.
Yeah, and I still have Ludo sitting here.
Love it.
Veldor is still on the floor where you left him on top of my Muscle Mouse Funko. I just pushed it to the side so it wasn't in the background.
All right, not bad.
I guess the summation is I bought a lot of things, some really good finds, and saw some famous people in person, which was kind of fun, like Robert Patrick, who was on X-Files. And
nice.
Matthew Lewis from the Harry Potter movies and stuff like that. So
fun times all around. Yeah. I don't think I did anything last week.
Also, I'm crocheting things for the table. Here's most of a goldfish cracker.
Incredible. They're the rainbow version of goldfish.
Yeah.
So they come in different colors.
Yeah. This is the third one. I'm just going to start turning them out because I started this what time last night? I don't know. Just turning them out.
Wow. Holy shit.
Remember? I broke the yarn.
No, I know. I'm just impressed.
Yeah. So I can start just turning those suckers out. I have the finished Dino Nug in the other room, but I'm not getting it. So
that's fair. So you'll have to come see that in person.
Especially because it's not just the items themselves, it's going to be the presentation that is enjoyable.
I'm very excited to see that in all its glory when it does happen.
Yeah. We also had failed prints like this poor little slug.
Rip to my slug. But now we know.
Yeah, I'm going to make bigger and better versions. I can't believe it was supposed to be this small. I never even thought about it.
Didn't we figure out that it was partially printing too fast as well?
Well, they did say to print it with like itty bitty like height layers and to do it slowly. It was like a maximum of 30 millimeters a second, and mine's 300 millimeters a second. So
it's not what we did.
Oops. I have never used this printer at max speed, by the way. It goes up to 600. So
that's
you know
terrifying. What the hell would you even use that for?
It's called sport mode.
Sport mode.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how fast it was going and how violent it was shaking. Imagine it at double that speed.
Yeah, I would be afraid.
Yeah, I'm too afraid to do it. I'm like, it would turn into a big mess, I would think. I don't know.
I'm not the expert.
Nor am I.
But in very exciting news that's making me utterly fucking insane. The Ghost movie is tomorrow, right here, right now. Premieres in theaters tomorrow. I am leaving work 2 hours early to catch the first showing.
So you only have to stay off social media for not even 24 hours now.
I am avoiding Twitter and all of that because I don't want any spoilers. And God, I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah, it's starting to sink into me that I'm going to go see Los Campesinos tomorrow. I'm like, I haven't even thought about what I'm going to wear.
Which is exactly why there is no stream tomorrow. Fun little reminder for anyone who's watching this right now, but that will be put on socials for anybody who isn't.
Because we will be having the time of our lives separately. But both having the time of our lives.
Oh my God, I'm going to go so fucking insane. Also, shout out Kyle. He said he would get there early so to grab the, because there's like the promotional like cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I must have it.
Nice.
I'm a simple woman.
Yeah.
I see ghost thing I want, I often buy. Rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, oh my God. I am thinking about it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a worsening spoiler? I don't know. Something along those lines, maybe.
Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever. But moving along to something that we said we were going to talk about, or a discussion topic that we came up during our last game stream on our Twitch channel.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this going around on Twitter quite a bit recently, where it's like, what are some memes that have like changed your personal lexicon? And then I heard them referred to as like load-bearing memes.
Mm-hmm.
So not necessarily a thing you say all the time, but like a post that you never are not thinking about. Like a meme that just doesn't leave your head.
I have a very like strong example of that, I guess you would say.
The floor is yours.
Hold on, I just realized I didn't have us full screen. Now we're full screen on my... Anyway.
There you go.
Time being.
Yeah, the time being.
Yeah. Like,
and I will compile a folder of everything because I don't think there's a convenient way for us to pull things up and have them on the screen now. So that will be linked in the description when this episode goes live on YouTube, Spotify, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
The time being is a good one.
Yeah. I was trying to like, I should have had this in front of me so I could like, read it off.
I gotta be writing these down.
I have it somewhere in my phone. Hold on.
We'll set this aside for the time being.
Because it changed me in a lot of ways because first of all, that phrase.
It happens in a lot of meetings when you're an adult, doesn't it?
Yeah. I found it. So I'll do a quick reading of it.
Incredible.
So it's in the form of a conversation. Reading. Yes. Boss, let's put this matter aside for the time being. Me, looking around nervously. Can only you see the time being? Boss? Huh? Me, is it standing near me? Boss, who? And then me on the verge of a panic attack. The time being. And scene.
That I gotta say that one also changed because like I still say that phrase, but every time I like it's always there when that phrase, like whenever I have any reason to have used that phrase, that's immediately where my mind goes.
Yeah, well, and it's not even just thinking about the meme, it is like I will sorry, I'm just thinking about it now. Like, depending on what the context is, if someone says, like, let's set that aside for the time being, I'm like, what would the time being want with whatever the thing is?
Yeah, it's his now.
You know, like, I think we're putting too much work on the time being. I think the time being needs a break.
Now I'm also looking through all of my memes because I know I have a couple. One, there's this one. It's like it's a photo of a bald eagle looking like very like he's just walking, but he looks very angry about it. And someone said they sent that meme to their therapist because it was the bald eagle walking. It was like me going on my stupid little walk for my physical and mental health. And it says, and so they said that their therapist, whenever they want them to get out of the house, they're like, okay, can you go do your angry eagle walk? And that's what I refer to my mental health walks as now. I refer to them as my angry eagle walk.
Sure.
I'm writing these down as we go because I know I'm going to forget them.
Yeah.
For later referencing.
Yeah.
Oh my
God,
I
know there's... Yeah.
Oh, here's a load-bearing meme. This isn't a phrase that I say, but it's one that never leaves my head. It's that tweet that's like, me and my friends would have killed ET with hammers. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mentioned this when we first started talking about this topic, that like I feel like a lot of mine are largely going to be references to super old videos and things.
That's fair.
Well,
I think
like,
this is both a load-bearing meme and one that changed my vocabulary. It fucking Wimdy.
Or that meteorologist wasn't lying.
Yeah.
That wind can blowing.
That format also was life-changing because I use it all the time for various things. Or the fucking like Bugs Bunny, I wish all blank a very blank. I think it's so funny when people make it like grammatically incorrect. Multiple versions I saw. I wish all Mitch McConnell a very die.
Yes.
And then after Eddie Izzard came out as gender fluid, it was I wish all Eddie Izzard a very pleasant pronoun update. Like,
that's nice.
Excellent meme format. Huge fan. It fucking Wimdy. And that's also just like very useful in upstate / Western New York because it so often is fucking windy.
Well, that's why every time, because on campus it can get really windy, like a lot. And so every time I'm walking around and it's windy, all I can think is that meteorologist wasn't lying.
That wind kept blowing.
Which that one and the time being are on my office door.
On your office door. At my suggestion, I might add.
And put them on my office door.
As you should. What else we got? Oh, TikTok sound that changed me, and I wish it hadn't because I physically can't stop fucking saying it every single time I go to search something on my phone. Google, show me this guy's balls, please.
I know exactly what you were going to say because I've heard you say it multiple times over the last couple days.
I hate it. I did not ask for this. I have no idea what the context for that is, by the way. I just saw it in a video and it rewired my brain on impact.
Relatedly, the concrete.
That and like around. Concrete. Like it's two separate words. That's another like format, I think, that warped my sense of humor, like separating parts of a word into two separate words.
Yeah.
I feel like there has to be some older ones though.
That's what I'm saying, but when I reach back like 20 years.
I mean, I would love to hear it.
Well, I showed you some of those ones, like the end of the world video, because in the video there's a character that just says I am tired, and so I say I am le whatever all the time.
Yeah. See, I remember that from the sort of fucking like rage comic era of the internet.
Huh?
That might have been one of the origins of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this video came out when I was in like college.
Oh, you know what changed my fucking lexicon? The fisheye image of that cat. It's looking in the Ring doorbell, and the caption is just, "May I see your tibbies?" Anytime I am referencing, like, anytime I try to make like a joke about like boobs, or anytime I reference pectorals, tibbies. It's always tibbies.
By the way, good one, Chris, in the chat.
Oh, dare I look? Hold on, I didn't say hi, chat.
There we go.
Concrete.
Yeah, of course, 55 lives in my mind forever.
As it should.
Yeah, that is classic. And if anybody out there is not old enough to know what these memes are,
Google that.
Technically, they were early, like very early. They weren't even using the term meme yet, but they were things that everybody shared and were very popular.
Load-bearing post in my day-to-day life, that fucking screenshot that just says, "God, I wish that were me." I send that to people constantly.
I was about to say, you send that a lot.
Because I often wish that were me.
Does the picture of the cat that you always send count?
Maybe.
It's just
I would class that more as like a reaction image.
Yeah, I suppose. It's
but
like a cat
use
riding
it constantly. It's a cat riding on somebody's shoulder, and it's like very blurry. So it's like the implication that it's like on someone's shoulder while they're on their bike. It's going very fast, and I send that to people when I'm on my way to them. Like to indicate that I have like left for your house.
Yes.
Or that I have like left for work to somebody. Constantly. It's very useful. I highly recommend. But also, I don't think that's like all that odd of a thing, because one time my sister was telling me that she was coming over and she sent me a gif of like a little dog walking.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I just have one that I personally stick with all the time.
Yes. Which makes it very influential in your life.
Oh, here's one.
Very integrated.
There's a picture of a little kitten, and you know how like they look extra fucked up sometimes when they're fresh?
Yeah.
Like just very strange little
straight
creatures.
Out of the oven. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one that says "No thoughts, brain scrambled egg." That one changed my vocabulary. I always say scrambled egg now.
Interesting.
This notepad is just a fascinating list of odd phrases.
Mm-hmm. I believe you have done readings from it before.
Probably. Oh, that video of Lady Gaga doing the like talented, brilliant, show-stopping. I say that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it's hard to think of any now.
Yeah, okay. I feel like those are all my best ones. And also like the fucking images of John Mulaney saying we don't have time to unpack all of that. And aren't we all? Those are I get so much mileage out of those two. Because they apply in so many situations. That and the "God, I wish that were me." Top three most useful memes I have ever saved in my life.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where when I stop thinking about it, all of a sudden I'll be like, oh yeah, this one and that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard when you actually have to like sit down and think about it.
Understandable.
Yeah, Yes. Also a good one, Chris. See, I have the chat up. Look at me.
See, I have the chat up too, but I'm not seeing anything, and I don't know what that means.
Weird.
You know, like a liar. Oh, I say that all the time.
Yep.
So many good things. So many, like, useful things have come out of that man's mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, this one fucking rewired my brain on Impact. From fucking What We Do in the Shadows, when Nandor's on the laptop and Guillermo's like gonna go out shopping, and he's like, the dish with the money dish. I say that all the time because Kyle often comes over here to do laundry, and like it's a coin operated machine in my basement. So we always wind up being like, oh yeah, there's more quarters there, and I'd be like, the dish with the money dish. That one has not left me.
Oh yeah, I mean there are a lot of things in that show that have very much
extremely quotable show
changed. Yeah, just because like I can never say the word crepe paper again.
Yeah,
it's always going to be creepy paper. Yeah. There's just a lot of those. I think the thing is, a lot of times when I am like quoting from memes and things like that, I don't even notice that I'm doing it.
Yeah, I feel like I notice it more, or like I notice that I'm doing it fairly often, but that also might just be a me thing.
Yeah. Well, like, I was thinking about this the other day, actually, when we watched Empire Records, because I do say the phrase sometimes, like, what's with today? And I don't really think about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, Lucas says it in Empire Records.
See, I'm always very aware of it when I'm quoting something. And I don't know what that's about, but there you have it.
Well, I think maybe the ones I don't think about, I've just been doing so long. It's like when you start off doing something ironically, and eventually it just becomes like a thing you say.
Just happened to me with so many things.
Eventually, you forget the source of the information, or it's just this is just now a thing.
That just reminded me of this fucking tweet I saw, where it was like, you know that movie Ma with Octavia Spencer, where she's like, she like buys booze for some teenagers, but it's a horror movie, it's like a slash or whatever. Someone's like, I put up this picture of Ma in my bathroom and forgot why I did it, and it's been there for years. I don't know why it makes me laugh as hard as it does. I just think it's really fucking funny. That's another one I'll track down for the folder of memes to accompany this episode.
Sure.
That happens fairly often here. Anyway, I think we can move on from this.
Sure, yeah.
Good talk. So you sent me, or you shared this video with me, which I guess is tangentially related because it is kind of like, it's talking about like generational slang. And I don't think we can show this because we will get copyright claimed. I don't feel like doing that. But it's a person making a TikTok, and they appear to be Gen Z, around my age, probably a little younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about like this sort of Gen Z versions of millennial slang, or like what one might call millennial slang. And I just kind of want to discuss some of these takes because we briefly touched on this when you brought it up and sent the video to me.
Yeah.
What does she like? She said something about how like vibe is out.
Yeah.
And maybe this is evidence of me being, in some people's sort of timeline, the last of the millennials rather than the first of Gen Z. In what fucking world is vibe out?
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't think, because she says instead, throughout the video, it's instead of using this phrase, use this phrase. And so instead of using vibe, she says to use tight beat. And the thing is, like, that doesn't work in every circumstance.
It doesn't work in every circumstance. And also, I say both already.
But like, you can't be like, what's the tight beat? Like, that just sounds
no.
ridiculous.
What's the vibe? But like, even then, if it's like, oh, like if you're describing a movie, it's like, oh, it's like a slasher type vibe or a slasher type beat. One, you've only changed one word there. So
yeah.
Or like it has slasher vibes, it's a slasher type beat. You know, you get your point across. But yeah, I've been using both of those like for years.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that like, but today was the first time I heard you say tight beat, and that's why this came up. I was like, I have, aside from this video and you saying it this morning, I've never heard another person saying it, like
That's
at all.
So fascinating because I like know I have said that in my day-to-day life, just apparently only with other people.
I guess.
And like it wasn't like, oh, I'm sticking to like older slang because you're older or whatever like that. I don't fucking know. I don't know what someone might assume. But it was literally just like, I never even thought about it. I was just like, oh, whatever.
I mean, it's possible you did and I just didn't notice it because I hadn't watched this video yet for it to be like called to my attention.
This is also true.
Because I can't remember when I saw this. It was a few weeks ago, I think.
I will say that I don't disagree with everything here. Like, one of the things she says is that like, the new YOLO essentially is fuck it, we ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I will say, hard agree. I have not heard YOLO in a very, very long time. It's always fuck it, we ball. Or for a slightly different flavor, like a sort of angry YOLO is fuck around and find out. But mostly fuck it, we ball.
See, for some reason, I thought that nobody ever used YOLO like sincerely. I thought it was like
a very
more of an
brief
ironic
window where
I thought it was
serious.
More, like, I always thought of it as like cringy.
I mean, I would agree now, but I will say there was definitely a very brief window where it wasn't.
Interesting. It is a very weird experience, like continuing to get older while being around 18 to 22-year-olds all the time.
That sounds nuts.
Yeah.
I do agree that
I get to see how the slang changes.
I do agree that Riz has replaced game.
Yeah,
at least in my circles as a person who's 26.
Yeah, I don't really hear either. I think it's because maybe once you reach my age, nobody cares about that anymore.
That's fair.
That's all I can think of. I don't know.
And I sort of agreed with the take that like, what the hell was it? It was like On Point and Locked In. They're like cousins, kind of.
Yeah.
Oliver, can you hear him trying to eat paper?
I hear sounds.
Oh.
I see paper moving as though it is alive.
See, the thing is, I can't close the door because that's where the cool air is coming from.
Yeah.
So let's see if tossing the paper outside of the office makes a difference, or if he'll just play with it really loud in the living room and we'll still have the same problem. Everyone.
Hey, remember that time we were recording at your place and you had to keep throwing toys to keep him away?
Yup. All right, let's see what that does. Maybe nothing. Yeah, On Point and Locked In, I would like, yeah, they are kind of cousins. You can't use them exactly the same. Oh, do you fucking remember On Fleek?
I was actually just thinking about that. I feel like that's short-lived.
Definitely, that's very firmly time-stamped as like my sophomore year of high school in my mind. But like, yeah, I think Locked In has a much wider variety of uses compared to On Point. Like, you can say like, oh, I wouldn't judge anyone for still saying my outfit is on point. Like, I feel like it's a little dated at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also just me. Like, I would and also maybe this is just me like constantly using this fucking word. I would say something slays rather than is on point, or like it, like, you know, she ate.
Mm-hmm. Which was also in the video.
That was another thing. But I don't know. I do like Locked In a lot though, because it has so many purposes.
Such as,
like I described myself as being locked in when I forget to speak during the stream because I'm so engrossed in the game that I'm playing. So like there's that, but also there's just sort of like the wider use of it in general. Like somebody was talking about how like when you go to a bar and you go to the bathroom by yourself and you have to stare at the mirror for a couple seconds to lock in before you go back out. And it's kind of like, and it's a very ephemeral definition of it, but I know exactly what they mean.
But if it's supposed to be replacing on point, like I guess you would also be able to use it in that context. Like, would you say somebody's outfit is locked in?
I don't know if I would describe the outfit as locked in.
But you can say it's on point.
You can say it's on point.
So it doesn't seem like it replaces.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're cousins. They're not replacements. Because, like, if I knew I was going to something and I decided to, like, send a picture of the potential outfit to the group chat or whatever, I'd be like, what do we think about locking this outfit in for X event? So like you can use it in relation to the fit, but only in a certain way.
But like on point is complementary versus being locked in, just like I'm sticking with this option.
Yeah
Basically it doesn't seem
I really don't know if there's I don't know if there's a new on point. But
basically it seems like on point is like essentially an adjective phrase that's complementary. Whereas like
you still hear him out in the living room?
Yes, I can. Russell.
Thank you, son, for the soundscaping.
It's white noise. People love white noise.
I think with him it's black and white noise.
I was just about to say, don't do it.
Yes, I already did that once.
With my cat, except her meowing is white noise because it's nonstop and it's very, like, muted.
The fucking... when I got back, I was reminded how different he is from your cats. And, like, the screaming I could hear from outside the building, not just like in the stairwell before I unlocked the door, through the whole, like the brick and everything. Insanity. As soon as he saw my car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you couldn't hear either of my cats.
No, he's a very loud boy. And again, came right up to me, being his nasty little goblin self. Demanded that I like aggressively smush his head in between my hands.
So strange.
He's a deeply strange boy, but that's why I love him. Did I cover everything in that video? Question mark?
I actually didn't rewatch it, so I'm trying to remember from.
Cool.
I think so, though, right? I mean, didn't really talk about 8 per se, but came up briefly.
I mean, that one, again, it's saying, like, that's replacing Slade or whatever, and not really. I could use both interchangeably. And that's what I hear from all of my friends who are in approximately the same demographic, is, like, using both. Yeah,
I don't know. See, this stuff is interesting to me because I don't really, use slang for the most part. And so I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I only ever use the word like slay when talking about slang in class.
How did that discussion go?
They laugh and laugh.
I'm so sorry.
It always makes me feel so old. But that's why I enjoy it, because every time I teach the intro class, I'm just collecting a list of slang words. And then every time I also have them vote on their favorite slang word, like of the moment. And so I have all that like poll data.
I like that. There you
And
go.
even-
There's a
yeah.
study brewing in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Even just over like the year and a half, because I taught it 3 semesters in a row. And the list that they gave me in class, it was like a completely different set every time.
That is fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's where
Do
I
you
learned
remember
a lot.
what the favorite was each time?
Oh, goodness. Not off the top of my head.
Okay, that's fine.
But generally it was like what I expected at each point. Like, yes, people are saying this word
Okay.
a lot. I remember that. But,
All right,
yeah.
that tracks.
But that's how I learned words like chuggy, which I thought they were lying to me about.
That one I feel like kind of fizzled out. I haven't
Yes,
heard that
it
one in
is.
a hot minute.
Chuggy is now chuggy.
There you go. See, I said something just now that was like the opposite of that load-bearing meme thing. I don't know where I got this, but I say it all the time, and it's ending my sentences with the word question mark when it is in fact a question. I have no idea where that came from.
I don't know either.
Not a fucking clue. So, if anyone has seen that in a meme before, please enlighten me.
That's what I was trying to think, and I couldn't. Nope, not coming up with anything.
I got nothing.
The void has awakened.
The void has awakened. Hi,
Here she
void.
comes. She's a poor girl. She had to go to the vet today.
Aww.
But she was
How's
a
she
very
doing?
good girl. She got her rabies shot. It's good for 3 years, so at least she's good on that. But she has to take prebiotics now for her little sensitive girl tummy. So it's like a powder that I have to mix into her food in the morning. So that's a good time. It smells terrible.
Nice.
She was a very brave girl. She was
So
killing
proud.
the vet because she kept like rubbing up against her, and she couldn't get her to stop purring so she could hear her heartbeat.
That's adorable.
Yeah. And Luna goes tomorrow morning, so I can't take them both at the same time. I just can't. It's too much.
Yeah, that would be a lot, TM.
Both of them just screaming in the car. No.
I swear to God, like, cats can read minds. He freaks out. Like, he's pretty good. He just meows a lot. It's not like he's, like, fucking terrified or anything. He's just like, what's going on? He meows so much more on the way there than on the way back. I swear it's like he knows that, like, okay, we're returning home.
Yep, she was much calmer on the ride back. It's like, okay, we're done with the hard stuff now. We just have to get home. And
yeah.
And
they can read minds.
Yeah. She doesn't hold a grudge. She was like snuggling with me almost immediately. I sent you a snap right before we started. Like, she won't let me up. She was just laying there on her back.
Oh my God. I remember you sent me a picture one time after one of your previous cats had to get mats shaved out of her fur at the vet. And I was like, is she angry? You were like, oh, she's very angry. She hisses at anyone who tries to come near her. I'm like, wow, that's a grudge.
She did that every time she went to the vet. Every time she went to the vet,
betrayed by mother.
Yeah. No matter what the reason, she would hiss at anything that moved for 2 to 3 days afterward, every single time.
Betrayal.
Yeah. Hissed at me, hissed at her sister. Just, I don't know why.
She was just a salty girl.
She
and
was,
I can't say that I blame her.
She was high strung, as we always like to say. Actually, toward the end of her life, before we knew it was that she was sick, they had put her on anti-anxiety medication.
Jesus.
Because she was just so like high strung, and she was a handful.
Yikes.
But she was so pretty and nice.
She was a very pretty girl. All right. We've been rocking and rolling for about 45 minutes here, so I think that's going to bring us to the weekly worsening. What have you got for us?
Interesting. I didn't think about it.
Cool.
It just occurred to me. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess probably the worst thing is like I've become obsessed with the crocheting stuff. It's
I
like
love
all
it.
I've been doing, which is good in a way because we're down to like 6 weeks until Mid Hudson.
Mhm.
So I gotta print a bunch of stuff and crochet a bunch of stuff. I got a bin over there where I'm just throwing things.
I like it.
Yeah.
One of the ways that I am worse that I might have brought up on the stream, but definitely not on the podcast because I distinctly remember realizing that I forgot about it for the worsening after we wrapped up recording with True Crime Garage. I know what my cosplay for the first day of Mid Hudson is going to be, and it's going to be Sexy Mothman. So I'm very excited to start putting that together. So that's definitely a way that I'm worse.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always another con around the corner, which is always such potential to be worse in multiple ways.
And also, I haven't gotten to indulge my Fallout brain rot for like 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dying.
I know. I haven't watched the most recent episode of Demon Slayer because you were here, and so I couldn't watch it because you haven't seen all the other Demon Slayer.
I
So that's been
apologize.
killing me, but I get to watch it now, so that's pretty exciting.
I don't know if I'm gonna have time tonight. God damn it! I hate being an adult.
Oh, for Fallout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I gotta like actually do work at some point too.
Isn't that a bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah. You really do hate to see it.
Yeah, I'd really rather not.
Valid. I feel like there's got to be something else though. I feel it like I swear I've done something recently. Like some just like random bullshit that's definitely made me worse.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of mentioned the Niagara Falls Comic Con, but man, I just bought so many things, just so many things. I can't stop. And I'm going to Nickel City Comic Con like next weekend.
I am a gremlin. I am by nature just a collector of little trinkets. It is a curse.
Mm-hmm. I
don't know what it is. I could never be a minimalist. That is my least favorite aesthetic in this entire world, is just like the single flower in a slim vase on a giant blank table. I hate it. Horrendous. I love the used, like overstuffed used bookstore aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
The antique shop vibe. That is what
I don't have a single flower in a slim vase. I have 3 sets of Lego flowers in 3D printed vases right behind me.
I also have Lego flowers, which you cannot see, but they are on my shelf over that way.
Yeah, my Lego succulents are downstairs.
Those were adorable.
My mommy got me that. When I got my surgery, so I had something to do when I was recovering.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
And that's what kicked off all this. I was like, well, I'm done with those. I got to build more things.
Oh, you know what? I think the big way that I'm worse is that I have a bunch of things that I'm gonna do very soon. Like I'm about to start a bunch of shit at the same time because of who I am as a person, and I will wind up like hating myself for this, but that's fine. Yeah. Like I'm gonna start working on the Mothman cosplay. I'm gonna start remaking my Violence Fiend mask from Chainsaw Man because I can do it better this time. Updating a shit ton of podcast stuff. Coming soon to a fucking stream near you. We are getting fancier every day. So there's so much like percolating, I guess, is a way that I'm worse.
I hear the sound of a percolator when you say that in my head. Big That's things fair. Brewing indeed.
Exciting times all around.
Yeah, I feel like we could take a moment to just reinforce to people how amazing Chainsaw Man is.
Chainsaw Man is so fucking good.
Like we started watching it together like a little over a year ago.
Yes.
When the dub wasn't out yet, so we had watched it. Well, technically we watched the whole thing together, just not always in the same room.
Yeah, we did a little simultaneous watching because Kyle and I were at your place for TorahCon.
Yeah.
And we didn't have enough time. We were like, well, we started this together. We got to finish it together.
Yeah. We watched like the first, I don't know, like 4 or 5 or something, I don't know, in person together.
Like that.
Yeah. So that was wild. And just, that was just yesterday. That was last night.
Yes, it was. Yes,
wow, why does it feel like days ago? Yeah, last night you're like,
I don't know.
We should check out the dub version, see what the English actors are like, and it's like, okay, cool, and then we watched the whole thing.
Because we just kept thinking like, oh, I want to see what this guy sounds like, and he's in the next episode. I want to see what this guy sounds like, and there's before we knew it, it was like, oh, okay, well, that was the whole thing.
Yeah, I picked up the remote to check which episode we were on because I wanted to look up one of the voice actors in the episode. And so I was on IMDb in the episode guide, scrolling down to the episode to click on it. And I saw there was only one after it. And I was like, oh, whoops, there's only 12 of these and we're on 11.
Where's the second fucking season of that show, by the way?
Yeah, because I mean, it's been a while. It was 2022 that came out.
I mean, I'm sure the overhead on that is ridiculous.
The animation is incredible.
Yeah, so like I understand it taking a long ass time, but God, I want more.
Yeah, I do and I don't, because there are certain things coming that I don't want to see. And that's the blessing and the curse of reading manga,
Yeah, I don't want to.
It's like when you read the manga, you know what's coming. So it's not as like surprising or upsetting or whatever if it's bad. But it makes me sometimes just not want to see that. Like animated. If it's something bad. Keeping it very vague.
Yeah, but there's fun stuff that I want to see as well.
There is fun stuff. There's new characters and stuff coming that I want to actually see, like moving and all that.
Yeah. All right. Well, with all of that being said, I think that's going to bring us to a close for tonight. So as always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will be back again next week. And now we awkwardly wait for Boss Man to sort us out and hope I don't get cut off in the middle of a sentence again.